Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Paramananda Madhavam. The verses that we completed yesterday.
12th verse. Panchikrita mahabhuta sambhavam karma sanchitam shariram sukha dukkhanam bhogayatanamuchyate pancha prana mano buddhi dashendriya samanvitam apanchikrita bhutotham sukshmangam bhoga sadhanam anadya vidya nirvachya karanopādhiruchyate upadhitritaya danyam aatmaanam avadhārayet.
So the upadhis are three. One is the sthula sharira, another is the sukshma sharira, and the last one is the karana sharira. So when we say sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, the first point to be noted is that sthula sharira is made up of sthula bhuta, gross elements. Sukshma sharira is made of sukshma bhuta. What is the difference between sukshma bhuta and sthula bhuta? One is subtle, another is gross. What do you mean gross? Gross means physical. What do you mean physical? Physical means that which is experienced through the senses. Physical. What do you mean then subtle? Subtle, that which is experienced, but not through the senses. For example, we experience the mind. We experience our thoughts. Our thoughts. These thoughts are not seen through our eyes or heard through our ears, but nevertheless they are experienced. So subtle is that which is not experienced by the senses. So when you talk of subtle elements, what you are referring to? You are referring to those elements which are not yet physically available for the senses. What are those elements called as? Tanmatras. How does an element become gross, physical? An element becomes gross or physical by combination with the other elements. By in its own nature, it remains subtle. So the process by which the subtle elements become physical elements, that is called as panchikarana. Okay, so you try to understand what is Panchikarana. Simple, what is Panchikarana? 5 becoming 5. 5 is already 5. Why it is becoming 5? 5 combines with the rest of the 5. In other words, each element combines with the other 4 in a certain proportion. The majority of the element is its own element. For example, earth, 50% earth. 50% earth means 50% tanmatra earth, subtle element earth. And 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5 of the other elements. That becomes gross earth, physical earth. 50% is earth. Other portion, 1 by 8, 1 by 8, 1 by 8, 1 by 8, or 12.5%, 12.5%, whatever you want to say, whether in fractions or in percentage, the majority is the earth. Therefore, such an element is called earth. If water is 50% and the other elements are 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, then that will be called as physical water or sthula jala. Right? In this way, other elements also are to be understood. These physical, meaning gross elements, lead to come together and create the physical body. In other words, the physical body is made up of the 5 sthula pancha maha bodha. The sukshma sharira is made up of not the sthula pancha maha bodha, they are made up of the sukshma pancha maha bodha. And that is why sukshma sharira cannot be seen with the senses. Sthula sharira will be seen by the senses. Sukshma sharira cannot be seen by the senses. Sthula sharira is this physical body. What is sukshma sharira? Sukshma sharira is pancha prana, mano, buddhi, then dashendriya. In other words, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 5 pranas, total how many? 15. Plus mind, how many? 16. Plus intellect, how many? 17. So it is made up of 17 facets. Now what are jnanendriyas? Even though we use the word eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, we are not referring to the physical eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, which are called golakas, but we are referring to the subtle faculty, the senses, the ability. The ability to hear is called ear. The ability to smell is called nose. The ability to see is called as eye. We are not referring to the physical. The physical is also eye. Nobody says it is not eye, but that is the physical eye. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the capacity. Like that karmidri also. Hand, legs. Yes, hand, legs, yes. But we are now talking, when we talk of sukshma sharira, we are talking in the context of the subtle, and here we are referring to the subtle faculty, capacity. The capacity for locomotion, to walk, to run, etc. That is called as leg capacity. So we are telling of the 5 karmendriyas, right? What are the 5 karmendriyas? Vak, speech, ability to speak. Pani, that is the hand. Again you have to understand the ability. Pada, again you have to understand the faculty. Vak, pani, pada, payu, anus, the organ of excretion. Now, anus is physical, that everybody knows. But we are not referring to the physical. We are referring to the subtle component that corresponds to that. The faculty of excretion. Then last one is genital organ. Upastha. Yesterday I was saying payu, upastha, which one is what? I am now clarifying. Upastha. Upastha refers to the genital organ. Reproductive. Now when I say organ, when biology When I say organ, what will come to the mind is a physical apparatus. So we have to use the word carefully. Faculty, capacity, sense. But you can't call this as sense. You have to call it as capacity, faculty. So Indriya is what? Faculty. Not college faculty, university faculty, okay? Not that kind of faculty. This is the inner sense, inner capacity. Are you understanding? Yes? Yes. Not a big thing here. So, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 5 pranas. What are the 5 pranas? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. And we have seen yesterday what they govern. Right? What does udana do? Reverse actions. Responsible for that. Causes that. It protects you from many things. Otherwise you can get poisoned and dead and die. Mind and intellect. What is mind referring to? Mind is referring to thoughts of the nature of emotions. Intellect is referring to thoughts of the nature of analysis, reasoning, understanding. Thoughts only in different phases or different aspects. Right? All of them are called as sukshma sharira. There is a special name for sthula sharira. What is the special name for that? Starts from bhoga. Bhoga-yatanam. There is a special name also for sukshma sharira. Bhoga sadhanam. What is the difference between this? Bhoga sadhanam is instrument for experience. Instrument. Bhoga sadhanam. Sadhanam is instrument, means. So, mind and intellect, the sukshma sharira, eyes, ears, they are the direct means for experience. Therefore, we call it as bhoga sadhanam. With the capacity, with the faculty to see, you are actually seeing. With your mind and intellect, you are actually feeling. So, bhoga sadhanam. What is bhoga-yatanam? It is a house of experience. So, the jiva, the individual, using the bhoga sadhana, residing in the bhoga-yatana, careful, what did I say? The individual, jiva, using the bhoga sadhana, sukshma sharira, residing in the bhoga-yatana, sthula sharira, goes about his life. Are you getting? Residing in the bhoga-yatana, sthula sharira, using the bhoga sadhana, sukshma sharira, goes through life, experiences life. So, sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira. Karana sharira is difficult, huh? No. It is subtle. It's not at all difficult. Vedanta is not difficult because Vedanta is talking about you. Anybody who says Vedanta is difficult has not really thought of actually. It may be subtle, that's all. There are so many subtle things. So, what is Karana Sharira? Karana Sharira is avidya. Ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of the self. Ignorance of the self. Karana Sharira. And this ignorance of the self is anadi. What is anadi? Anadi means na adi. There is no adi. There is no adi means what? There is no beginning. There is no beginning means what? We do not know the beginning. There is no experience of its beginning. It has been coming from time eternal past. This ignorance is carried forward. The accounts every day it is carrying forward to the next day accounts. Like that avidya keeps coming birth after birth after birth. Anadi. Anadi avidya. This is the description, nirvachya. Okay? This is a description for Anadi, avidya, nirvachya. So I'm using that, two ways I'm going to use. Nirvachya, anirvachya. I'm going to say in both ways. That which is the beginningless ignorance is your karana sharira. Swamiji, this is physical body, sthula sharira, understood. Mind, intellect, thoughts. Sukshma sharira, understood. Where can I see karana sharira? Tell me. Remember, many people don't even think that they have, even though thoughts and all are there, but we are not aware of our thoughts. How much are we aware of our thoughts? Very rarely. Sometimes say, my head is pounding. When so much trouble, agitation is there only, we are thinking of thoughts. Otherwise, we just move about our life. Do we think of our body often? Only if there is pain in the leg, we think of the leg. Otherwise, we don't think about the body. Same way, mind also, we rarely think about it unless it causes trouble. Now, if mind is subtle, karana sharira is a little more subtle, but still we know it. In deep sleep, we experience our karana sharira. Little more subtle, that's all. What is this karana sharira doing in deep sleep? Veiling our true nature of Sachidananda, covering our true nature of Sachidananda. That is why many times we wonder whether we were there in deep sleep. We all know for sure we are not dead, but we don't have our experience of the self in deep sleep. So that is called as veiling. It is not that now we have experience of the self. Sachidananda Swarupa, even now we don't know, it continues. What we experience as I do not know, of course in deep sleep, I do not know myself, I do not know the world. I do not know the self is common in waking state, dream state and deep sleep state. But I know the world is there in waking. Why? Because senses are active, mind is active. I know the mind and the thoughts. Why? In dream. Why? Because thoughts are there in dream state. Whereas in deep sleep state, because the senses and mind have resolved into the karana sharira, have gone back to their seedal form, bija avastha. The thoughts that you have now, when you go to deep sleep, what happens? They go back to the seedal form. They go back. Seedal form means what? It is there. You can't say it is not there, but in a seed you don't see everything. It's all hidden. The whole tree is there in the seed. The same way, all our emotions, all our feelings, where are they when we go to deep sleep? It has gone to its seedal form in the karana sharira. That is why it is called karana. Karana means seed, cause, bija. Like how the seed is the karana for the tree, bija for the tree. So, karana sharira is cause for sukshma sharira. This way. How karana sharira is cause for stula sharira? Because karana sharira is ignorance, it leads to janma after janma, samsara it leads. Because it is not that karana sharira is exactly causing this body. Karana sharira, ignorance, you should remember. Because it is ignorance, then what happens? I continue to be ignorant in the waking state and the dream state. Let us talk of waking state. I continue to be ignorant. That karana sharira continues. Like how sukshma sharira continues in the waking state. It is not only in the dream state. Sukshma sharira is there in the dream state. Sukshma sharira is also there in the waking state. In the same way, karana sharira is there in the deep sleep state. Karana sharira is there in the dream state. Karana sharira is there in the waking state. Now just think carefully. We don't have the experience of the sthula sharira. In which state? Deep sleep state. Only deep sleep state? Dream state also. Now you are able to see. We don't have the experience of the Sukshma Sharira in which state? Deep sleep state. We don't have the experience of Karana Sharira in which state? Careful. We don't have the experience of Karana Sharira in which state? It is there in waking state. It is there in dream state. It is there in deep sleep state. Avidya aspect of Karana Sharira will end when we gain the knowledge of the self. Many people think Karana Sharira we can't understand. No, you can understand. You have to put your mind, that's all. What is it you can't do? Put your mind. You think carefully. If you can't understand everything in the class, it doesn't matter. You go to your room and you think, you study. No, Swamiji, even then I don't understand. In the discussion, in the group discussion, when you have, little more discuss. Still not clear. Afterwards, analyze, think. But you have to understand. Okay? So, Stula, Sukshma, Karana. So, what is Karana Sharira? Karana Sharira is what is Nirvachya, what is Anadi Avidya. Sometimes in some books you will find Karana Sharira is Anadi Avidya Anirvachya. There is a avagraha. In your book it is there? There is one yes kind of thing? It's not there. Okay. Anadi Avidya Nirvachya. You can break it into Anadi Avidya Anirvachya. What is Anirvachya? Anirvachya means that which cannot be explained as being there or not being there. Anirvachya. Anirvachya neither is, neither Sat nor Asat. That is how we say. Neither Sat nor Asat. Sat in Vedanta is that which is always there, can never go away. That is called Sat. Asat in Vedanta is that which is never experienced. Some time back we discussed Asat. Some examples I said. Kapushpa. Remember? Kapushpa. It is not there at all, cannot be experienced. That is called Asat. Horns of the rabbit. Horns of the bull is there. Horns of goat also is there. Hippopotamus also has got horn. Hippopotamus has got horn? Rhinoceros has got? Anyhow. I have neither seen both of them. Horns are there for some animals. But horn is not there for a rabbit. So that's called Shashavishana. That is called Asat. What is Sat? Always there. Atman only is Sat. Because Karana Sharira is there in waking state, dream state and deep sleep state, don't think it is Sat. Why? The avidya, it will go away when you know your real nature, avidya will go away. Vidya avidyam nihandyeva tejas timira sangavata. So, you cannot explain it as Sat. But then can you say it is Asat? You can't say it is Asat also, because you are experiencing very clearly in your deep sleep state. Now in your waking state, ignorance continues. You are experiencing. But because you are experiencing, you cannot tell it will be always there. Because you are experiencing, it is not Asat. Because it will end, it is not also Sat. Because you are experiencing, it is not Asat. Shashafishana, Kapushpa can never be experienced. But it is not like that. You are experiencing it. Your results, that results you are experiencing it also. Not only you are experiencing karana sharira as I don't know myself, but you are experiencing the results of how Swamiji I am experiencing the results. Raga dvesha-adi sangulaha. Raga dvesha, kama krodha. All those things, where are they coming from? They are coming from avidya only. Since you are experiencing avidya, you cannot say it is asat. It is, but can you say then sat? Sat means what? That will be ever there. This is not going to be ever there. Why? When knowledge arises, this will end. So, neither explicable, neither explainable, neither describable as sat or asat. That is called as anirvachya. Anadya vidya nirvachya. So both ways, nirvachya, anirvachya. Are you able to see? Swamiji, only one thing you tell Swami. One thing itself is too much for me. Nay. Anadya vidya, called, what is karana sharira? That which is described as anadi avidya. What is otherwise karana sharira? That which cannot be described as sat or asat, anirvachya. So either you say karana sharira is that which is described as beginningless ignorance, or you say what is karana sharira? That which is beginningless ignorance and that which cannot be described as sat or asat. Upadi tritayad anyat. Other than these three upadis is what? Self. That you please understand. That is most important. The purpose of describing sthula sharira is not for you to understand and only, go to the sthula sharira. No. In Vedanta, why we explain sthula sharira is to take you beyond. Sukshma sharira also, why were you explaining? To take you beyond. Karana sharira also explained. Why? That purpose is not this. The purpose is that. Suppose I show the finger. Hey, where is the dining hall? Suppose somebody asks. Some guest comes and asks, dining hall. I say, there. Now you should not catch hold of this finger. Big finger you said, there. Oh, God, this is dining hall. You should see in the direction of the finger. Right? In the same way, sthula sharira, sukshma, you can see sthula sharira. You can experience. Sukshma sharira, little subtle, you can experience. Karana sharira, little more subtle, you can experience. But what is the main thing? Main thing is the Atman. See there, go there. That is your nature, Satchidananda. Okay? Next verse, shall we go? The very same three sharira is divided also into 5 kosha. Have you heard? Pancha kosha, annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, then manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. Now what is being said? It is other than the 5 kosha. Let us read the verse. Verse number, next 2 verses you read together. 15, 16.
Pancha-kosha-aadi yogena tanmayah iva sthitah shuddhaatmaa neela vastra-aadi yogena sphatikah yathaa Vapuh-tusha-aadibhih koshaih yuktam yuktyaa avadhaatatah aatmaanam antaram shuddham vivichyaat tandulam yathaa.
All right. So these 3 shariras are categorized as 5 koshas. Sthula sharira is called annamaya kosha. Sukshma sharira is divided into 3 koshas. pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnana means knowledge, intellect. Sthula Sharira is equal to Annamaya Kosha. Kosha means covering. Sukshma Sharira into three koshas. Pranamaya, Manomaya. Pranamaya refers to the pranas and the karmendriyas. Manomaya refers to the mind and the jnanendriyas. Vijnanamaya refers to intellect and the jnanendriyas. Jnanendriyas are required for mind also to function, intellect also to function. And what is Anandamaya Kosha? Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is what we experience so close to ourselves. Ananda. Ananda means happiness. So, various anandas that we experience. In deep sleep also we experience ananda, the bliss of ignorance. That is also karana sharira caused. So, karana sharira also is there for Anandamaya Kosha. But in waking and dream also, we experience the Anandamaya Kosha. Waking and dream, how we experience Anandamaya Kosha? Suppose by any chance, let us say, your close friend, your dear friend. Whereas, suppose one of your name is Arun, let us say, and he found out, or she found out, that you are here in Veliyanadu, in Kerala, and says, I want to go and see you. That friend comes there. From distance you are looking. Huh? Raju? Raju. When Raju comes, Are Raju! Little more Ananda. Are Raju! This is Ananda. Okay. So when you see from distance the object of your love or object that you desire, laddu also you can give. Today bhiksha is there. Bhiksha is there. What they are giving today? Laddu. Laddu. Happiness comes. That's called priya. And then when you go there and see the laddu and you take in your hand, that is called modha. Darshana, just you see from far, happiness comes. That is called priya. And when it is in your possession, it is called as modha. And when you actually enjoy, that is called pramoda. Priya, modha, pramoda. When happiness comes, what happens? We forget the world. We go deeper into ourselves. Because happiness is not actually in the world. Happiness is actually coming from yourself only. How Swamiji, happiness comes from ourselves only? For you, Raju is friend. For the other fellow, Raju is enemy. He says, Arre, musibat aa gaya yahan bhi ho. Dukkha comes little closer. All my secrets are going to be out now. Everybody thinks I'm such a good fellow. This fellow has come now. And very close he comes. You had Paramananda, Paramadukkha. You see? Raju is not neither giving you joy or actually is neither giving you joy nor giving sorrow. It is our own inner conditioning. Bottle of rum. Joy for somebody, very seeing its law. Another person has nothing to do. There's no ananda, nothing. Destroying the whole country. Neither is rum giving anybody actual joy. nor it is giving actual sorrow. I like coffee, therefore coffee gives me paramananda. You are not a coffee drinker, you are a tea drinker. Neither is coffee giving joy nor tea giving joy. Actually, joy is coming from ourselves. When our mind is agitated, we are in sorrow. When our mind becomes quietened, joy comes from our own inner self. Those who are used to drinking coffee exactly at a particular 4 o'clock evening, let us say, 4 o'clock, exactly, especially the office people and all, exactly the coffee and all, correct time, tea, coffee and all. 3:55, coffee in the mind. They are doing coffee. Coffee, you look at the time, 3:55. 3:55 to 4 o'clock in the mind. Coffee, 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 coffee. Mind is agitated, coffee, 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 coffee. And exactly 4 o'clock, the fellow opens the door and comes the tray, coffee's fragrance spreads. Aa gaya coffee priya. How? Mind is getting quiet and that's all. And the ananda is coming from inside. Ananda is not coming from coffee. You give the child coffee, bitter. How are you drinking? So his wife was telling him, every day you are drinking. Not coffee, tea. It's drinking something. 6 o'clock, Sandhya time, you are drinking every day. His Sandhya Vandana is that. Then he said, you also drink. So she took it. You think I'm happy drinking or what? See? Happily you think I'm drinking? Huh? ऐसा नहीं है. Happiness is not in the object. Because we like it. And we want it. We crave for it. We are agitated. And when the agitation quietens down, we think happiness is coming from there. Agitation has caused unhappiness. Quietening the agitation gives joy. Joy has not come from anywhere outside. Joy has come from yourself. Because you are Ananda Swarupa. Objects only manifest one ray of our happiness. Our self is infinite Ananda. If little bit you can quieten that thought and see that ray of happiness, and we can feel so happy, just imagine if we experience our true nature. Sat Chit Ananda. So these manifestations of rays or bit of Ananda of the self through thoughts, through subtle thoughts, they are called as Priya, Moda, Pramoda, and they all are collectively called as Ananda Maya Kosha. Meaning, when we reach Priya, Moda, Pramoda, we are reaching little more closer to ourselves. That's the meaning. So, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. Okay. Are you getting all these things now? The three shariras now has been broken down into 5 koshas. What is said here? Pancha kosha-aadi yogena tanmayah iva sthitah shuddhaatmaa neela vastra-aadi yogena sphatikah yathaa. Sphatikah, crystal. Neela vastra-aadi, that crystal, that glass, that crystal, associated with the blue color cloth appears blue. Red color cloth appears red. Similarly, this Atman associated with these five koshas appear to be that and that kosha. Actually, crystal never becomes red or blue or green. Only appears in the same way, attached or connected, associated with these koshas. I say, I am today very calm. Today I understand better. I understand better. Vijnanamaya kosha is understanding better. But what do I say? I understand better. Senses are not functioning properly. Let us say, when we grow old, senses will not function. I am not able to see well. I need specs. Now, senses, but then I say, I am not able to see. Eyes are not able to see. Some emotion comes, anger comes. What do we say? We don't say, mind is angry. I am angry. Tanmayah, it becomes as though that kosha. Associated with that blue cloth, sphatikah appears blue. But actually it is not blue. Nothing can change your nature. Sachidananda is Sachidananda. However angry you feel, and then, all those movies and all they show now sometimes. Fellow is getting so angry. Sachidananda never gets any angry. You can never get angry. You try, Swami. Try me. I can show you what I can do in anger. When anger comes, I break things. You can never get angry. Because your nature is never anger. Anger belongs to the mind, manomaya kosha. What should be done to recognize the self? Next verse says, example given is what? Aatmaanam, antaram, shuddham, vivichyaat, tandulam, yathaa. Here the example is of grains, rice grains. Okay, grain. Rice is an example. Any grain you can take. Now this grain of rice, which is what actually you want, is covered with so many other layers. So many layers, like kosha, it is covered. Now how do you get to that grain? You do so many processes. Sometimes you pound, you take thrash, so many things. Threshing, pounding, so many. And then finally what do? You come to that pure grain, which is actually what you want for cooking. In the same way, what you do, all these koshas also you pound. Pound? How do I pound the koshas? With logic, with understanding, with deep thinking. How can I be the body? I am aware of the body. What I am aware of, how can I be that? What I am aware of? I am aware of my dress. Can I become my dress? No, I am aware of my dress. What I am aware of is an object. I am the subject. Use your logic. Thoughts I am aware of. How can they be me? I am aware of my thoughts. What I am aware of is an object of my awareness. I am different from the object which I know. Usually we can see this very clearly with respect to external objects. But when it comes closer, we forget it. Sometimes contact lenses, some people wear contact lenses. They forget that is something, it becomes part of them. In the same way, what is happening is that we have taken ourselves to be this body, mind and intellect, senses and so on, even though they are bodha-ayatanam and bodha-sadhanam. They are instrument only. Suppose with your pen you write. However you may love your pen. Swamiji, I have a nice pen. Huh? My pen, very nice pen. Okay, you write with your pen. That pen is only an instrument. It's not yours. It's yours, okay. It is not you. The same way, the mind is an instrument. It is not me. The intellect is an instrument. It is not me. The body is my residence. It is not me. However much you may love your home, the home is different and you are different. However much you may love your pen, costly it may be. Yes, it is very priceless. Each of our senses are so priceless. Physical body itself, so priceless. Kidney, priceless. Liver, physical body I am talking of. Mind and intellect, what should be the price or cost of it? God, nobody knows what is the cost of mind and intellect. You cannot even put a price tag on that. It's so priceless. But yet it is an instrument. It's an instrument. People wear glasses and all, no? Glass. The frame of the glass, sometimes very, very costly. Very costly. Somebody told me this frame is 20,000 rupees, not this, something. I said, frame can be so costly. More costly is there. Somebody showed a pen. This pen is in lakhs. I said, what is there in this for lakhs? Oh, it's there. If the pen is so costly, what about the hand? Somebody gives us a diamond. Somebody gives me, somebody gives you, let us say, a diamond ring. And you say, you're so dear to me. The ring they give, which you put in your finger. But what is the cost of this finger? We don't give our attention to it. Everything we possess is very costly. Agreed, priceless, yes, very true. But they are all bodha sadhanam and bodha ayatanam. Use them well. Treat them well. Know the value of it. Nevertheless, use them for a higher purpose. Use them to realize yourself, which is not just priceless, which is, these words don't apply there. It is the highest, and that is you. If your body is costly, if your mind is more costly, what about you? Come to realize yourself. Aatmaanam, antaram, shuddham, that pure self, beyond all the koshas. Come to understand. Yes, there in the grains you pound, you thresh, whatever you do, it's a physical thing. Here it is not physical. You don't have to pound your body, your senses. But you have to pound yourself through understanding, logic, reasoning. Logic, reasoning. Just one example I give you. What you see is other than you. Also, what you can be without is not you. If you can be without your mind when you are sleeping, that means what? You are not the mind. It's not essential to you. When you hear these things first time, it may look very odd. But it is logical, I can tell you that. Only thing is that these things are not given to us before. That is why it may look odd. But slowly you will get used to it. This kind of thinking. And then you will see, yes, I am not the anger. I can see the anger coming and going. Like a clouds in the sky. Somebody went to a master and he said, please give me a method. I want to get rid of my anger. I am a very angry person. Then the Mahatma said, okay, become angry. Show anger. It doesn't come like that. Meaning, what is not there with you always, how is it you? What comes and goes, how it is you? Before, the body was such a small 2 cells. Before, it underwent the process of certain, became a zygote, then it underwent some process of blastulation, gastro, so many names are there. Then it becomes cell, big. Then also it is some pound of some, it's a mass of something, undifferentiated cells. That is you. Madness. Then it grows. 9 months inside. Then one cute fellow comes out crying. And everybody laughing. Ah. The fellow grows. Rakshasa he becomes. He's a local terror. Grows. First child. First not even child. Then child. Then how many changes are there? Are you a child or are you an old man? You are none. Childhood belongs to the body. Old age also belongs to the body. Neither you are a child, neither are you an old man. But when the body is a child, I say I am a child. When the body becomes little, then I say I am middle-aged. This is all what? Association with the upadhis, identification with the upadhis. Vivichyaat, tandulam, yathaa. Differentiate yourself and see yourself as not the gross body, not the subtle body, not the causal body. Sthula, sukshma, karana, sthitah. English names. Gross body, subtle body, causal body. See yourself as not the annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. See yourself as pure, Satchidananda. Be free. Realize, come to know yourself and be free. Otherwise, there is no freedom possible. Know thyself. Liberate thyself. Okay? That is verse number 15. 16. Okay, that is 60. In my book, there is some problem in numbers. We stop here. Next session we'll take up. Shall we read the verse we completed today? Read from 12. Panchīkrita mahabhuta sambhavam karma samnitam shariram sukha dukkhanam bhogayatanam uchyate Pancha prana mano buddhi dashendriya samanvitam apanchīkrita bhutotham sukshmāngam bhoga sadhanam anādya vidya nirvācya karanopādhiruchyate upadhitritayādanyam aatmaanam avadhārayet Pancha kosha-aadi yogena tanmayah iva sthitah shuddhaatmaa neela vastra-aadi yogena sphatikah yathaa Vapuh-tusha-aadibhih koshaih yuktam yuktyaa avadhaatatah aatmaanam antaram shuddham vivichyaat tandulam yathaa. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ